How's it going, YouTube? Long time no see. It is hot today. It's like 90 degrees. But I recently had a conversation with a girl, and a lot of the things that were discussed were things that I felt like I wanted to kind of share with you. I feel like it might be beneficial. One of the things that we were talking about was her wanting to like find a significant other in her life, and she was thinking in the mindset of like you have to kind of go out and find love, and she's like, well, I've tried just like waiting for it to come to me, and that doesn't seem to be working. And what we kind of got talking about was that I was letting her know that, in my personal opinion, trying not to sneeze right now. In my personal opinion, what you should do in that scenario is it's not about just sitting around and waiting for it to happen. It's about focusing on yourself, allowing yourself to grow, and by finding a new passion and allowing that to become a huge part of your identity. And when you pour yourself into your passion, then people, like-minded people that are interested in the same things you're interested, will see that dedication and they resonate with that and they want to be drawn towards you. And in turn, then you find people that you can really love. So I don't think it's so much like a matter of like trying to seek it and making it happen, like forcing that to happen, or a matter of just, I'm going to sit around and wait for that to happen. So I think especially when you stop drinking, you feel that big loneliness, some of us, and you want to fill that emptiness with someone else, and that will come with time and focusing on who you are, on that new path. So yeah, finding your passion and following it, allowing it to organically lead you in the direction that your life is meant to go. Like, let's say, you've always wanted to go skydiving, right? And your alcoholism has just gotten in the way of that, and you never got around to doing it. Well, now you have time and money, and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And you go skydiving, and you love it. And then you realize you love other thrill-seeking sports. And so now you're base jumping, or you're doing that thing where they glide in the little suits, and you're skydiving, and maybe you're white water rafting, and you're doing all these adrenaline junkie kind of things, which a lot of alcoholics do. They still want that kind of like adrenaline rush in their life, and so they end up doing those things, and through that you will meet someone who is also active like that, who also could be someone who's a recovered alcoholic or a recovered addict or something. And I think they say, like in AA, like it's bad to have two addicts, date each other, or get with each other, because if one goes, the other one can go. And I suppose there is a risk factor in that, but I feel like if you are able to do these things yourself, and then you truly break the temptation. I mean, I don't count the days that I haven't drank anymore. I did in the first year and a little bit going into the second, but like it just is not in there anymore. It's just gone. And that's why it's like, am I an alcoholic? Yeah. Like, I know I should not drink, and you should just know that about yourself. But the monkey on your back thing, like, you can kill that fucking monkey. Like, I don't believe that you just drag that fucking shit around with you forever. Like, once you get to this point of your life where you're just like, it's just filled with everything else. I don't got time to be worried about trying to get another drink, It just, because my monkey's dead. I blew his fucking brains out. Another thing we were talking about was happiness. And it's very important to always know this. You deserve to be happy. You absolutely deserve happiness, regardless of the shit you have done in your past, because, newsflash, we've all done a lot of fucked up shit. That's just part of the human condition, like, you don't get this far in life without breaking someone's heart or hurting someone's feelings or doing something that memory, every time you think about it, makes you cringe. I'll share you a story with you. Back in my drinking days, I was watching my friend's dog at her apartment complex. It was the first night I was going over there. And I go over there, I go up to the apartment, I forget what the number was, but let's just say it was 212, and I look underneath the mat, I don't see the key, and she said she left it there. I hear a dog barking inside, sounds just like her dog, so I'm like, well, what the fuck? And I'm like trying to get a hold of her, and she's not picking up the phone, And so they had a balcony, so I just figured I'd go around and I'd climb up the balcony and get inside that way. So I go around, I scale up 2 stories, get in this balcony, go through the sliding glass door, only to realize there are people sleeping in there and I'm breaking into someone else's apartment entirely. In my defense, they have like the apartment complex here and an identical one right behind it within like the same parking structure, and it's not 212A, 212B, it's just 212 is here and also here, and they look identical, and there was a dog in both, you know. But I was drinking, and even when I think back to that, I'm like, that guy could have blown my brains out, and rightfully so. If anyone ever tries to break into my place, I'm not going to ask questions, you know. I sleep with a loaded shotgun under my bed and a really sharp machete next to it, so it's like, you don't think like that when someone's breaking into your house. Like, oh, maybe this guy's got the wrong apartment. He's trying to watch someone's dog or feed their goldfish. Like, no. So, but you'll always have these moments and these experiences in your life that you'll look back on and be like, ugh, how the fuck did I do that, you know? The important part to remember, though, is that those things do not define who you are. It might define who you were, you know, but you at any point in your life can change who you are. And all that is a systematic willingness to change the choices and actions that you make. I'm a completely different person than I was 2 years ago, you know, and that's because I wanted to be different. I had a vision of who I wanted to be, and then I just started acting like that. And before you know it, you're not really acting anymore. Now that's just who you are, you know. So I just really want to reiterate that, because I think a lot of times when people stop drinking, they have this like whirlwind of shit that has happened behind them, and to get to that point, and sometimes you might feel like, I don't deserve this. I shouldn't deserve to walk around and feel good about myself or feel happy or take all this praise. And I'm here to tell you that you do. You absolutely deserve to be happy, because for all we know, we got this one tiny little life. And if you're already at this point where you realize that you've been making mistakes and you have problems in your life and you're trying to address that and you're trying to change that, that is your right to be happy right there. You're acknowledging that you have a problem and that you want to change it and you want to be better. So that's your ticket to happiness right there. So don't ever sell yourself short on that. And I believe, the last part of that, which kind of ties into everything that I was talking about, but when you stop drinking, you know, by filling the void with other things, you can really focus on who this new person is going to be, you know, and almost kind of like an image board, like a dream board, where you like put the things on it that you want to get out of life. You can kind of do that with who you want to be, and just be like, I want to be a person that is giving. I want to be a person that is more empathetic. I want to understand where people are coming from, and I want to be not so quick to judge. I want to work on my anger issues. You know, I want to be more helpful. I want to be that person when people say, hey, I'm moving this weekend, can anyone help? I want to be the person that will help them. And then you just have to start doing those things. And it, like anything, it gets easier, you know, and then it'll just become a part of you. That I suppose is kind of like the meat and the potatoes of this video, is just, you know, don't try to go out and find love, you know, focus on yourself. And when you focus on yourself and this new person that you want to be, and allowing yourself to be happy, that's when you start to blossom and you start to attract all the people that should be in your life, you know, because positivity absolutely attracts positivity, you know, and it repels negativity as well. Like, when you're a happy, positive person and someone comes around and is like, yeah, fuck this and fuck that, you're like, get the fuck away from me. I don't want to be around you, you know, because when you get to that point where you realize that your happiness is up to you, you know, to a certain degree, don't get me wrong, things happen in your life, you know, but it is also up to you how you deal with those things. A little thing that always helps me is I realize that, like, no matter how bad my day is going, or how bad a situation that has been dealt me is, I just always know there's been people that have had it way, way, way worse, and that you should just take it in stride, allow it to be, you know, part of your story of your life, you know. Quick couple updates. I finally pulled the trigger on signing up for a powerlifting meet, so I'm getting that done, and I think it's September 16th. It's in Sacramento, at, I can never remember the name of the gym, but I'm sure I'll do another video before that happens. But I'm really excited, kind of nervous, but it's going to be really cool. And anytime I know that I'm nervous and I'm kind of scared and apprehensive, that is my little spidey sense to know that I am pointed in the absolute right direction for my life. Secondly, I showed you in the past couple videos my Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde tattoo that I had been working on, and I got it all finished. So, without further ado, let's see. I think, I'm trying to see the reflection. You guys see it all? Yeah. So, that is the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde tattoo in its final form. So, I absolutely love it. My tattoo artist is just fucking incredibly talented, and I told her, I'm like, you know what, why don't you just go ahead and keep me on the books until I'm pretty much covered from the neck down and the wrists up. Other than that, you guys, I think that's about it. I like I say, I want to post regularly, but I also don't want to just make videos for the sake of making videos, and I don't want to always just repeat content that I've said before. I've been getting a lot of comments and a lot of new followers recently, which is really cool, and it's always kind of like, you know, humbling and shocking, but if this is helping people, then I'll continue to do it. And every time I have something, you know, or I have a conversation with someone that I feel like really resonates, I jot those things down, because I'm like, I think my YouTube followers would like it. And it's very humbling that I even have people that are following my channels, and the things that you guys say always just warm my heart and bring a smile to my eye. Just bring a smile to my eye. Bring a smile to my face. You guys make my eyes smile. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you next video.